Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and controversial topics in ancient history, the Anunnaki. Who were they? Where did they come from? And why are they shrouded in so much mystery? Let's unravel this enigma together. The term Anunnaki originates from ancient Mesopotamian mythology, particularly from the Sumerian culture, which thrived around 4000 BCE in what is now modern-day Iraq. The word Anunnaki roughly translates to those who came from heaven to earth. They were considered deities, the offspring of the sky god Anu and the earth goddess Ki, making them divine beings of immense power and authority. Anu, their father, was the supreme god of the heavens, while Kai, their mother, was the personification of the earth. Together, they gave birth to the Anunnaki, a pantheon of gods that played a central role in the creation myths and religious practices of the Sumerians. To truly understand the significance of the Anunnaki, we need to explore the civilization that credited them with their very existence, Sumer. Often hailed as the cradle of civilization, Sumer emerged around 4000 BCE in the fertile region of Mesopotamia, located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This area, known as the land between the rivers, is where humanity is believed to have first developed many of the cornerstones of modern society. The Sumerians are credited with some of the earliest known achievements in human history. They invented cuneiform writing, a complex system of pictographs and symbols that allowed them to record everything from legal codes to epic poetry. This writing system became the foundation for all subsequent written languages in the region. The Sumerians also built impressive cities, like Uruk and Ur, which were centers of trade, governance, and religious activity. These cities featured grand temples known as ziggurats, massive step pyramids that served as the dwelling places for their gods on earth, gods like the Anunnaki. But the Sumerians didn't just stop at writing and architecture. They were pioneers in agriculture, using advanced irrigation techniques to transform the arid land into fertile fields capable of sustaining large populations. They also developed mathematics, astronomy, and law, creating one of the earliest known legal codes which would influence later civilizations. So, where do the Anunnaki fit into all of this? The Sumerians themselves believed that their civilization was a direct result of divine intervention. They claimed that the Anunnaki descended from the heavens to bestow knowledge and guidance upon humanity. According to Sumerian myths, the Anunnaki taught them how to farm, how to build, and even how to worship the gods properly. Now, let's talk about how the Anunnaki were depicted in comparison to modern humans. According to ancient texts and carvings, the Anunnaki were described as much larger and more powerful than humans. Some descriptions suggest that they stood around 8 to 12 feet tall, with an imposing and godlike appearance. Their physical strength was said to be extraordinary, far surpassing that of any human. Some myths even describe them as possessing otherworldly abilities, such as shape-shifting, eternal youth, and the power to control the elements. Whether these descriptions are symbolic or literal is still up for debate, but they certainly paint a picture of beings who were seen as far superior to the humans of their time. One question that often arises is, why are the Anunnaki not mentioned in the Bible? The Bible, particularly the Old Testament, was written much later than the Sumerian texts that describe the Anunnaki. The stories in the Bible are influenced by a wide range of ancient Near Eastern myths and legends, but by the time these stories were written, the name Anunnaki may have been lost, transformed, or replaced by other terms. For example, some scholars suggest that the Nephilim mentioned in the book of Genesis might have connections to the Anunnaki. The Nephilim are described as giants, or the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men, which could be a distant echo of the Anunnaki myths. However, this connection is highly speculative and not universally accepted. When it comes to the Anunnaki, there's a mix of historical evidence, ancient texts, and modern interpretations that fuel the ongoing debate about their existence. While some see these accounts as mere mythology, others believe they might hold clues to a much deeper truth. One of the most cited pieces of evidence is the Sumerian King List, an ancient manuscript that records the names and reigns of kings in Sumer. What's truly remarkable about this document is that it lists kings who allegedly reigned for tens of thousands of years, long before a great flood that supposedly wiped out much of the early world. These abnormally long reigns are often interpreted as signs that these early rulers were not ordinary humans, but perhaps the Anunnaki themselves, or their direct descendants. Another interesting piece of evidence comes from ancient Sumerian art and carvings. Many of these show figures that some researchers believe are images of the Anunnaki. These figures often have unique features that look almost alien, like large almond-shaped eyes, long skulls, and detailed headdresses, or crowns, that some think might be technological devices, instead of just decorations. In addition to this, there are stories and legends from other cultures that bear striking similarities to the Anunnaki. For instance, the ancient Egyptian gods, the Greek Titans, and the Norse giants all share characteristics with the Anunnaki, such as their immense size, power, and connection to the heavens. Some researchers believe these might all be different cultural interpretations of the same beings that could have been the Anunnaki. While these stories and pieces of evidence are fascinating, it's important to remember that much of it is based on guesswork and interpretation. The Sumerian texts are often written in a poetic and symbolic way, and while they give us insight into the beliefs of one of the world's oldest civilizations, they aren't necessarily accurate historical records as we understand them today. Thank you for staying with us, and we hope you now have a better understanding of Anunnaki history.